Welcome back to Sunday Nation here. Of course, it's the holiday. That means a lot of college students are back home with their families. And of course, we have two college students here from some of our nation's leading universities in the country. Cinque Harris is a senior at Dillard University in New Orleans. And of course, Katie Heath is a junior at Duke University. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
I want to begin by saying Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Are you enjoying the holiday?
Yes, yeah.
For me, I'm glad to be home.
You're glad to be home?
Enjoying the time.
I think it would be the opposite though, right? You want to go back so soon?
I'm not rushing it, I would say.
You're not rushing it, huh? But you're almost at the end though. You're a senior now at Dillard University.
Yes.
Let's in fact get into that. So you're at the end of the road now. Why did you choose Dillard?
I chose Dillard for one of three reasons.
Right.
I believe the biggest reason was I wanted to be in an environment much more accustomed to what I grew up in.
Right.
You know, you get groomed at an early age to strive and try to succeed for almost anything, but being an African-American male, you face a lot more responsibility and obstacles than I would say maybe the average person.
Right.
So in doing so, I wanted to be in an environment that pretty much could groom me for the life that I wanted to be in right after graduation.
Right. I mean, Dillard is such a prominent black college. I mean,
Absolutely.
a lot of Ambassador Andrew Young, civil rights leader, went through Dillard. Winston Marsalla's father, the great composer, went to Dillard. Dr. King's father. You know, did you feel like it was pressure for you at Dillard?
I don't believe it was
I mean,
pressure.
because you walked into an institution with great black legacy.
Yeah, I believe that the biggest thing that going there and being a Blue Devil, I believe that they groom you.
Blue Devil.
They kind of groom you already, and I believe I have those characteristics amongst even being a freshman.
Right.
That of being a leader and just following those footsteps of the other leaders that came before me, and just stepping in, taking a stroll in their shoes, and just taking off where they finished.
Yeah, yeah. So you went in there confident that, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Katie, you're at Duke University, a preeminent college in the country, and you're a junior. I mean, you have 3 more semesters to graduate. What's that experience been for you?
It's been great. Funny enough, I'm also a Blue Devil.
Oh,
I know.
So we got 2 Blue Devils here.
No, it's been great. One of the reasons I chose Duke was because I knew I wanted to do something with policy and from the work at the Pulse Institute.
Yeah, Katie was a junior fellow at the Pulse Institute, where I served as the executive dean. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's it really kind of showed me and pushed me towards wanting to major in something with social change, and so I knew that Duke had a leading undergraduate major, which is not that common right now, and so yeah, it's been wonderful.
So you know, when we talk about college students, we talk about the future, right? And you know, people look up, you know, people who are watching this show now saying that's the future right here. Do you feel that's pressure though? You know, because, you know, not everybody, I guess, goes to college to be a leader. Some people feel like, you know, their parents said you must go to college, so they have to go to college.
Well, I believe being a leader is what you make it.
Okay.
I believe being an athlete, playing basketball, I believe at an early age, you're pretty much through into the position of being a leader. You know, you have to be a good leader, you have to be a good listener.
Yeah.
You have to have a safe environment that people are welcome to state their own opinion.
Right.
And I believe that that's the type of person I am, which kind of makes my career path a lot more easier because I want to help people already, and I also provide that environment for people to feel safe in. So.
Katie, what do you think? Do you feel that it's pressure to instantly assign future leadership to students like yourself? You
know, leadership, I think a lot of people may have already like preconceived notions about what leadership is. I actually just took a leadership class this past semester. Shout out to my professor, Professor Zach Bayou. No, but I think leadership can come in many, many forms, and so I don't necessarily feel pressure just being a college student to, you know, fit one mold. I think you kind of have to utilize your resources and you know, what you like to do and what you're good at, and, you know, kind of pave your path. And yeah, so I don't feel too much pressure to
Cinque,
go
you
in
feel
one
the same
path.
way?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that people do have their own distinction of what the word leadership means. And that's why, you know, there's a term that one can be a good leader and one can be a bad leader.
Right.
But you have to be optimistic and you have to have ulterior views, and you can't have one standpoint that you're focused on. I believe that you have to be have inspiration from a multitude of different things.
Right.
And that has to come from not just your opinion, but others as well.
We're speaking with Cinque Harris, who is a senior at Dillard University, as well as Katie Heath, a junior at Duke University, here on Sunday Nation. So, you know, as college students, obviously, I mean, there are issues that you deal with. We see sometimes, and I premise it this way, a lot of movements for social change were started on college campuses. You know, students are the future leaders. You know, they raise a lot of issues. You know, going through college or allowing college to go through you, however you see it, what are some of the issues that you've seen that has come up on campus that have, you know, been important for you?
For me, I would say at the institution that I attend, I would say finances would be the biggest issue.
Okay.
And I only say that because it is a private institution.
Right.
And it's a private institution where the tuition goes up. I
Right.
believe, I'm not sure of the number, but it goes up every single year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, basketball is, you know, something that is paying for me to go to school.
Yeah.
And, you know, academic, my GPA is high enough where I'm getting resources and academic things for that as well. But what about those who don't have that?
So you are a star athlete and you're in good academic standing, so it puts you in a different space, right?
Absolutely. And it also makes me, it kind of makes being in my career field, it makes me want to help others more.
Right.
Because that's a big thing. I mean, what about those who, you know, if it goes up every year, they're not in good standing where they can go back that year. And what if it is your senior year?
Right.
You know, it makes you feel very uncomfortable to have to worry about that while you're trying to be the best person you can be.
Yeah. Affordability an issue. Katie?
Yeah, Duke is also a private institution. Tuition goes up every single year. I'm in a similar boat. I'm you know, financed through a merit scholarship, and so I don't feel a lot of those pressures that I know like a lot of my peers feel. And I think it can be a very hard thing to try and balance finances throughout college, especially when you know, have to pay for, you know, X, Y, and Z. And so I agree that that's always a big issue.
So I want you all to step back for a little bit and look at yourself now. Cinque, you are as a senior at Dillard. Before you got into Dillard, what was at the back of your mind? What were you thinking?
I was already thinking about my senior year and what came after college. I think that my parents, I believe that the experiences that I've had through being an athlete have groomed me into being a forward thinker. So I'm not just set on thinking on, okay, what's going to go on this year.
Right.
I'm thinking about years from then.
Right.
Yeah.
Katie, what was at the back of your mind before you entered Duke University?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm always kind of thinking towards the next thing, and I'm not always sure that that's kind of the best mindset. You know, there's the classic, you know, live in the present, but you know, when you're going to like a four-year institution, you're thinking, well, is the decision that I'm making right now, you know, major decisions, like what's going to be my major, and am I on the right path academically? Am I doing enough like extracurriculars? I think, you know, going back to the question, that's a lot of pressure to think, well, if I want to go to graduate school or if I want to get a good internship, am I making the right decision? And I know I was already thinking about kind of all of those decisions that I was going to have to make before I came into Duke.
Did you feel that way, being in that state of having that indecision, trying to see, well, do I really want to go down this route? Do I want to take a different route?
Absolutely. And the major that I'm in is criminal justice, and it was something that I've pretty much been around my whole life. So the choice to what I was going to practice in, it was very clear to me at an early age.
Right.
I think Dillard offering the resources that it has in the criminal justice department, I think it made this decision a lot more clear for me.
Okay.
You know, I had my Professor Brandon Haman and Dr. Azraf Esmail. I think they did a fantastic job at grooming and putting resources in front of me that I could utilize for the future.
Your major is in public policy?
Yep. I'm public policy studies major and then a double minor in economics and education. you know, I did know going in that I wanted to do something with policy, with social institutions, but I wasn't, you know, 100%. Like I feel most people aren't 100% on what they want to do, and yeah, but I did face some indecision, and
really?
I think it's through the classes that you take, you know, it makes you want to pursue that major.
So I'm just thinking criminal justice, public policy, economics, and I mean, those are the issues we're dealing with, right? Criminal justice reform, we're dealing with, you know, public policy issues every day. So, I mean, you're basically going to be in the center of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? I mean, you're not, I mean, these are not isolated, you know, measures of concentration that you're taking.
Right.
Criminal justice is right at the center. You know, public policy right at the center.
Yeah, definitely. It's being in the center of it. It just makes you want to help, you know, more people,
Yeah.
especially those who aren't in those standings to help themselves.
Right.
Well, when I think about public policy or criminal justice, I think, you know, even in my classes, it's so easy to apply it to real life, and that's one of the things that I love about my major. It's very applicable, and you know, you get to see how it plays out in the real world.
Absolutely, I definitely agree with that. It's being, like you said, it's very crime isn't going anywhere, you know, and as unfortunate as that may be.
That's a good way to put it. Go ahead.
It definitely opens the door for the generations to strive to make a better one for the prior one.
Right.
So, I mean, working together, I mean, it's fantastic, and it's almost unreal to realize that how much change that, you know, you go in college and you have this idea of what you want to do, how much amazed you are when you graduate, and just the ideas that you have that you want to accomplish.
You want to change the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you at a place where you feel like
Yeah.
you just want to go and change the world? Are you at that place now, like you just want to, you know, just change everything the way they are?
Yeah, but you definitely got to take it one step at a time. 'Cause you can't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
it can definitely be overwhelming. Yeah, one step at a time.
Definitely.
But you know, it does make you realize that there is a lot that needs to be changed, and a lot that you can do individually and together to make that happen.
You know, that's a good way to put it. Let's talk about that. Just, you know, I think we're getting ready to round up this segment here, but just individually and the significance of that one individual can change something. I mean, you know, it's like you said, one step at a time, and it's based on your contribution, what you do. As you know, exit college, you prepare to make that exit of college. Do you feel a sense of urgency to make that, you know, individual contribution to society?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I believe, for whatever odd reason, I can't find myself that to be stuck in one place. I'm always thinking on a multitude of things. So
Forward thinking.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And some would say that it's kind of a bad thing because you never really get to rest your mind. But I think in the positions that I've been in, I think it's programmed me to kind of always think ahead instead of thinking in the moment.
Katie?
Yeah. I mean, when I think about graduating college, you know, it's stepping out into the real world and kind of escaping this bubble that you've been in for the past 4 years, and now you have to think, how am I going to use what I've learned in my classes and over the summer and whatnot, and actually apply that to a job or to, you know, wherever you go next.
I want to give you all an opportunity here in a few seconds. I think we have a minute left to give a shout out to your parents who have invested in you. You can give them a shout out as we speak. Let's start with Cinque.
I want to thank my parents for bestowing the fundamental values and being a man and giving me the love and the support that I've had over the years. I want to thank the institution of Dillard University for believing in me athletically and academically. And I also want to thank my brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi for being there when I needed them most.
Okay, brother. Okay, I see you. Go ahead, Katie.
I just want to give a huge shout out to my parents and my sister for just, you know, believing in me and giving me the resources to excel and do great things. Again, to Duke University, to the School of Public Policy, for also just showing me what's out there in the world and and for giving me the opportunities that they have. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I want to say on my end here, I'll be watching both of you, see what you're going to do to change our world and make our world a better place. So congratulations again as you prepare to exit the stage at Dillard University and at Duke University.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, perhaps you could be out holiday shopping, but you came to the studio anyway. All right, of course, two students from our leading institutions in the country, Katie Heath from Duke University and Cinque Harris from Dillard University in New Orleans. All of them here talking to us. Of course, this is part of our holiday edition here on Sunday Nation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.